Cricket with Devi, and today we are back with another video on the IPL 2022 preview segment. And I am joined with Sanchit Bhai to talk about Rajasthan Royals today. So Rajasthan we'll talk about how they did in the auction, how is their team for this year, and how their chances look. But first of all, welcome back, Sanchit Bhai. How are you?
Good, good. I mean, first of all, thanks, Arnav, for calling me back. I mean, we last spoke about a month ago, speaking about India for that matter. So it's really good to make my debut as a Rajasthan Royals fan on your channel. And yes, really looking forward to the discussion. And you can see the smile on my face. It depicts the entire auction emotions that the Rajasthan Royals fans went through. So really excited to have this discussion.
Same here, right? Definitely, yeah, I feel Rajasthan had one of the best auctions in general. Definitely, with the way, like we saw how they had a bleak spin attack for the last few seasons, how they've addressed that issue, and like they now have one of the best spin attacks. Talking about that, they have Ravichandran Ashwin, Yuzi Chahal, two really experienced Indian spinners in that market. So they have got quite a good spinner department now. And with the pace too, they have Prasid Krishna, really good Indian pacer, and Trent Bolt. We know how lethal he is in with the swing he gets in the power play especially. So also with the fact that he played for the Mumbai Indians and playing in Mumbai this year in the IPL, that's a different thing that we. I don't think he played a lot in Mumbai when the IPL has he even played one game. Nope, I don't think so.
I think he did. 2019 was the season when the IPL last happened, full fledged
Hmm.
in India for that matter. So I think Bolt was there, if I'm not wrong. So both Bolt and Kultanile, they both
Yeah,
played in Mumbai for most of the matches. So
yeah.
really
So
good to
yeah,
have that pair.
yeah. So yep, about that, as we were talking about Mumbai, Rajasthan have got quite a lot of things from Mumbai this year. We are gonna talk about all that. So first of all, Sanchit Bhai, how do you think about RR spin attack? Because the way they addressed this issue this year, and for me, that's one of their big strengths. Because when you look at this squad, the way they have that spin attack, also with decent backups for Ashwin and Yuzi both. How do you think that is a strength for them?
I mean, amazing acquisitions in the auction. First of all, I mean, Rajasthan Royals. The main reason why we didn't succeed in the last few years was because of our depleted spin attack. I mean, if you compare it to the 2018 season when we came back after that gap of 3 years for that matter. So I think that was when we really had a good, decent spin bowling attack. Like I think we had Krishnappa Gautam and Shreyas Gopal. So that was the time when Gopal was actually performing really well in the
Yeah.
IPL, and he did perform well and got those crucial match winning performances with the ball. But after the 2018 and 19 season, he really fell down, and that was when the spin bowling was actually exposed. So in the last few years, the only spin bowlers we had was Rahul Tewatia and Shreyas Gopal, and both of them
Hmm.
weren't doing exactly that much. I mean, Tewatia for all his contribution, I don't see him as a 4 over bowler. I think he's a good 2 or 3 overs bowler, but I don't really trust him as a 4 over bowler. So you had those two players leading the spin attack. So it is such a great thing that now we have someone like a Yuzvendra Chahal and Ravichandran Ashwin, possibly two of the greatest players for Indian cricket in this particular format in the last few years. I mean, we are so blessed to have such a spin bowling attack, and as you rightly spoke about the backups as well. I mean, we are really good, well equipped with backups. I'm really looking forward to see more of KC Karyappa for that matter.
Hmm.
He's been with the squad in the last few seasons, but didn't get enough chances. So maybe when the time comes, he will be there as a mystery option in the squad. So really
Yeah.
happy with the spin bowling acquisition. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I was also like, I really wanted Yuzi to come back to RCB, but that's a different thing overall. But good luck to Yuzi in Rajasthan too. He was a royal before and he's a royal now too, in a way. So now going on to Rajasthan in general. Overall, we see how Sanju Samson's there, Josh Butler's there. Looking at the top four, especially in the batting point of view, we see that's quite a power pack lineup. But one concern for me in the auction was like if you already have Yashasvi Jaiswal, why are you buying somebody like a Devdutt Padikkal? They two are like similar kind of players, and both preferred position is opening. Pushing down any one of those two number three would not give you the immense good because see it these are two kind of players you won't want to drop to because they have immense potential and you want to fit in both the players in the 11. But again, there was a statement that that would play at 3. But again, is that the best idea in the auction? You retained Yashasvi, so you can't drop him in the 11. And also having Dev, but buying him isn't the best of idea. Also, buying him at such a high price.
I personally feel that yes, when the auction was happening, it was really odd that Rajasthan were going so hard for someone like a Devdutt Padikkal. But when you look at the things from a retrospective angle, even when you see the owners and the management also explaining why they went through, I think there is a certain logic to that. So if you look at the problems that RR faced in the last few years, it was over dependency on the overseas players in the top order. So we really
Yeah,
didn't have a solid number three batter. So Sanju was batting at 3 and 4, but he wasn't showing that consistency at number three
yeah,
for that matter. So except for the last season in 2021, he didn't really have a good consistent season. So to have someone like a Devdutt Padikkal, so the one thing about this T20 format is that when you are an opener, you can bat anywhere in the top three. And we have seen lots of players who have batted as an opener and even batted as a number three for that matter. So I really don't feel why Devdutt can't succeed at number three. Plus, he's a great asset against the spin bowlers. So we really saw that the opposition really targeted the spin bowlers quite early to the Rajasthan Royals batter, just because we had someone like a Josh Butler and Yashasvi Jaiswal who really likes to
yeah,
go hard against the fast bowlers. So you see spinners coming into the play early. So even if we lose an early wicket going after the spinners, we have someone like a Devdutt Padikkal who is a fantastic player of spin coming in at number three. So I think that is the ideal choice for that. And apart from that, we really have a good quality backup
yeah.
in the top order as well. I mean, Karun Nair is there, so he's an ex-Royal as well. So I think he's been with the squad in 2014 and 2015, and he's had a good run. And even in the recent matches in the domestic circuit, he's been scoring well, though different format. But I think momentum also
Even
plays
Dhruv
a
Jurel,
massive role.
for
So
that matter, he had a good under 19
exactly.
World Cup. And he's been consistent in the domestic formats too. So he can also bat at 3. So I feel Rajasthan have covered their backups quite well for each and every position. So yep, I absolutely agree on that. And going to the squad, we talked about their strengths, how they have quite a good top 4, top 5, and also we have talked about all of that. Their bowling attack looks quite good for this season. What do you think would be Rajasthan's one of their weaknesses? Like a position which might be a bit bleak, or a position which you thought that could be covered in a better way?
I think the number seven spot, because when you look at the Rajasthan Royals overall squad, I mean, after the day one at the auction, we all felt that the number seven spot was the much needed spot,
Yeah.
because we went after someone like Odion Smith
Hmm.
and Roman Powell, not Roman, I think it was Romario Shepherd we went
Yeah.
after. So there was lots of candidate we went after. We didn't really get one. So I think it was clear that we actually got one of the backups to fill in for that spot. So we have someone like a Jimmy Neesham, Nathan Coulter-Nile, or even Daryl Mitchell, but I don't see one of them to be a great candidate at number seven. I mean, we had someone like a Jofra Archer in the previous season, so it was very difficult to actually replace that. But the only logical solution would be to go with Nathan Coulter-Nile, because you get two overseas bowlers in your squad. Then Bolt and Coulter-Nile can operate just like how they used to do for
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians. But if you go with someone like a Jimmy Neesham, I mean, you are compromising your bowling depth, because
Yeah.
you can't really trust Neesham as a bowler, but you can trust Coulter-Nile as a four-over bowler. So you have to compromise some or the other way for that number seven role. If you go with Jimmy Neesham, then you're compromising on your bowling. And if you go with Coulter-Nile, then your batting depth suddenly gets weak. So you're overly dependent on your top six to perform. So I would personally go with with Coulter-Nile at number seven, because knowing the pitches in Mumbai, basically they are like a run fetch for the batters. So
Yeah.
ideally your top six batters should be able to do the job at least till
Yeah. Right.
16, 17 overs. So I would go with two bowlers, overseas bowlers, any day in my squad.
Yeah, I absolutely agree because Nathan Coulter-Nine, it's not like he's a mug with the bat. We saw he can
Mm.
score and he has that potential because I remember one knock clearly of him, that 2019 World Cup, that 80 odd
Right.
against
West
West
Indies.
Indies. So that knock like shows us how he has that hard hitting ability and he can go after the bowlers if needed. Plus Ravi Chandran Ashwin too backs him up at number 8. So overall, I feel what they have done is at that number 7, number 8, number 9 position, they overall have three number 8s or three number 9s. So if Nathan Coulter Nile is actually batting at number 9, that isn't a problem for you. If he's even at 8, but 7 is again one position too high for both Ashwin or Coulter Nile for that matter, I feel. So I
Hmm.
absolutely agree on that. Overall, Rajasthan have made quite a good squad as we talked about that. One pick which I really saw, I was really happy that Rajasthan did in the auction was them buying Riyan Parag. Many people troll him for things like him doing the other things like him playing games and other things like doing the view dance after as a celebration. Many people do that, and also his performances a bit. But overall, we sometimes ignore that he hasn't been that bad of a player for Rajasthan too. He's performed.
Exactly.
He's not performed that consistently, but he has been good. He showed his potential, not with big 50s or 60s consistently, but he has done those quick 20 cameos which have changed the course of the game. 240s, which we saw in the 2020 season, which were really crucial. Especially, I remember the one against Sunrisers, in which him and Tiwatia changed the game
Yeah.
there. So Riyan Parag overall has been decent enough, and I was really happy when Rajasthan picked him, and at quite a good price of around 4 or 5 crores. So it means they are backing him, and Rajasthan overall also went quite a bit on their old players. They wanted to get them back, which shows your backing towards the youngsters. So how do you see that as an aspect?
I mean, fantastically summed up there, Arnav. I mean, I really don't get the over criticism of someone like Riyan Parag, because if you look at his stats, I think you are right on the part. I mean, except for that 2021 season, he's not been that bad. I mean, you saw those crucial knocks in 2019, his first ever season. I mean, who can forget that knock he played against Mumbai Indians, playing
Yeah.
against the likes of Lasith Malinga, Bolt, Bumrah, and having that wonderful run chase on a difficult wicket in Jaipur. So he does have that talent to win matches on his own with the bat, and even he played a knock against KKR in 2019 as well in Eden Gardens when he won us that game. So he's not that bad of a player. I mean, it's just because of his social media antics and the celebration that he does. We just completely have a different perception about Riyan Parag. And he's still young. I mean, he's hardly 20,
Yeah.
21 years old. So he's got a lot of years to come. So except for that 2021 season, I think he's been a great player. So it was always about getting one of Maipal Lomror or Riyan Parag for that matter.
Yeah.
So I think we got Riyan Parag. So I think you guys got Maipal Lomror for that. I think either way, it was like a win-win deal for us. So I'm really happy that Riyan is there. The only concern for me will be the batting position, because I would want him to bat a little bit higher and not play as a finisher. I would have someone like a Hetmeyer playing as a finisher
I
and
guess he
Parag
might
maybe at
bat
number
at a
five.
position of like around 5, and Hetmeyer would be at
Yeah,
6,
five.
in my opinion, because Hetmeyer cracked that finishing role really well for the Delhi Capitals. He consistently played at 6, and he got those match winning performances, especially in this 2021 season. He scored
Hmm.
30s, 40s consistently at that number 6 position, finishing the knocks well. As specifically remember one game, so like Delhi versus RCB, where Delhi lost by 1 run. Like it was at one stage, it was looking like RCB will win it easily. Rishabh Pant was going slow at an end. They were 4 down, but then Hitman came in and just started hitting and hit like a 25 ball 50. And then like even though they lost by 1 run, but still I remember that knock clearly. And overall, except that too, he had quite good performances in the last season. So I personally feel that they should bat Rihan Parag at 5 and Hitmire at 6. And coming on to that, what do you think should be Rajasthan's ideal 11 starting off? Because uh, starting off basically, I'll tell you like, are there any players which are unavailable at the starting for Rajasthan or no?
I think there was a
Yeah,
concern about Rassi Van
That's
Dederson.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
so I think
now
that is
I
still
guess he's
unclear.
coming because
Yeah,
South African players are coming now.
I think for a change, I mean, all the players for Rajasthan Royals are available. I mean, we are not used to this. At least one or the other player was unavailable at the start or at the end. So it's really happy. So I'll tell you my 11. I have actually like the 11 which I would love to see against Sunrisers. I think that is the first match that we play. So obviously Yashasvi and Butler at the top of the order. Number 3, Devdutt. Number 4, our skipper Sanju Samson playing in that number 4 position. Number 5, Riyan Parag. I agree with you. I think that is the ideal position for him to bat. Number six, Shimron Hetmeyer. I mean, we don't have any better finisher than him in the squad.
Yeah.
And number seven, as I said, I'll go with Nathan Coulter-Nile for the initial matches, because when the wickets are fresh on pitches like Wankhede and Brabourne, I mean, the fast bowlers really love bowling in the power play with the hard ball. Hit the deck bowlers really enjoy that. So I would have Nathan Coulter-Nile there, compromising my batting order, but I'll heavily depend on the top six that we have. Number eight, Ashwin. Number nine, we got Prasidh Krishna. So number 10, Chahal, and number 11, Trent Bolt. So
Yep.
very good squad that we have. And even if Prasidh Krishna goes for runs, we have someone like a Navdeep Saini as our backup. So I really rate Navdeep Saini a lot. I think he has been developing a lot in the recent few years. I really loved the season that he had with RCB in 2018 and 2019, when the wickets that he played was majorly in India. So in UAE, you can't really judge a bowler because of the slowness of the wickets that were provided. But in pitches like Mumbai, where you get hard and fresh wickets at the start, and maybe even it gets better as the days progress. So I really love the tactic of going for hit the deck bowlers in the auction. So we have Nathan Coulter-Nile, Prasidh Krishna, and Navdeep Saini in our ranks. So I'm really happy with the bowling department
Yeah.
that we have. So either we go with Prasidh or Navdeep. I think we won't go wrong anywhere.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But to start off, I guess it would be Prasid. They bought him for 10 crores and the auction. And overall, in the recent past, his performances too have been quite good. So I guess it would be Prasid only to start off, which is fair enough. And overall, looking at Rajasthan squad, as we totally summed it up, they have quite good backup for each and every position. So for like their spinners, they have Shubham Gharwal, they have KC Kariyappa as their backups, which are good enough overall with their batting too. So like they have Rashi Vanderdessen as a backup for Hetmeyer, or he can come in for any other top order slot too. Arun Nair can come in. So overall they have quite good backups in the all-rounder squad. They have Anunne Singh, Daryl Mitchell, James Neesham. Anybody can come in when needed. So overall, I guess Rajasthan have covered the backups quite well, which is one of their strengths. So like if somebody misses out, somebody has a legal, somebody has an injury, they can come in, and that won't make a lot of difference to them. So I guess that's one of the big things for Rajasthan, because over the last few years, I have personally observed that. So sometimes Rajasthan had a problem with Ben Stokes getting injured, Butler not being available at times. So that used to be a problem for them in terms of the availability, the injuries, and then them not having as good backups. But now they have covered it quite well. So Daryl Mitchell, if somebody gets injured, Daryl Mitchell is a good enough player to go up as a makeshift opener and open there. Overall, they can monitor their squad quite well. So if Butler gets injured, they can get some Indian player in to open, and then Rasi can play in the middle order. So they can do all of that. So they can monitor with their lineup in that manner. So I feel Rajasthan have covered the backups quite well, which is one thing which I really wanted to see them doing, and they have done quite a good job in that. So Sanchit bhai, what are your final views on Rajasthan squad for this year?
I think Arnav, you have summed it up pretty well in the last answer. That I mean, you really spoke highly about the backups. Even I agree that for a change, I mean, Rajasthan Royals have really focused a lot on the backups, because it was actually the need of the hour.
Yeah,
Because I don't think Josh Butler has played an entire season of the IPL without being unavailable. I think he was unavailable at almost every season that he's played. 2017, he was with Mumbai Indians. He didn't play the playoffs because he went back to England, and with Rajasthan Royals, none of the English players were available for the entire season. So it was really sad that what was happening. So it really was concerning that how would we spend on our backups, because we really needed to build a strong 11 first and then
yeah,
look to focus on backups. It is very difficult to find the right balance between focusing on both of them, but I think
yeah.
Rajasthan have really worked out on that well. So my final thoughts would be that I think it's a well-rounded squad. The only concern, as I said, the number seven spot is there, but initially I don't think that will be a problem till the wickets are fresh. So a lot rides on the top order batters and the finishers, for that matter, to play a good consistent amount of innings for the team. And apart from that, I think we really look sorted.
Yeah.
So for the first time, I'm feeling really hopeful and confident for Rajasthan Royals to make the playoffs. Not the IPL trophy. I mean, it's still like 1 or 2 years away, according to me. So we are still getting there. But this season, I think we are heavily top favorite contenders for that playoff spot. So anything less than top four would be a disappointment for me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So, thanks for joining me, Sanchit bhai, today to talk about Rajasthan. I absolutely agree on them having quite a good squad this year. overall. So yeah, that round up today's episode on Rajasthan Royals, their preview for this year. Hope you guys liked it. Do give the video a like, please share and subscribe. Till then, we'll meet you all in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.